The Riley 360 printhead keeps all the things that were great about a Riley Hopkins press and builds upon them. The printhead itself is wider and far more sturdy than it ever has been. I'm talking about side-to-side flexibility. If I have that auto screen in here, I can have that screen and beat up that printhead, and that screen's gonna fall back in that same spot. Not gonna say 100%, but nearly every time. One of the new features for this is the spring-loaded micros. It helps you to realize when you've engaged on the threads with the extra pressure that they're putting on the turn knob. I can feel immediate tension when I engage those micros. It's just the threads going back and engaging, and with that spring-loaded there is giving you a reinforced tension. Another new feature that we added to the printhead are just these centering marks. As long as the pinpoint for the printhead is right there in the center, you are now at home. You're at your 0 starting point. So if you ever do a job where you're like, whoa, what the heck happened with my micros? Well, you can show them where home plate is. If you aren't able to see through your screen very well for any multitude of reasons, you can look at your 0 points to see how far the head has traveled. Even me without my glasses can see where it's going. And now it's back to center. Lock it down. Because of how we've built these risers in here, when you loosen this, there is 0 head tilt. That means that your screen is not going to fall and touch your print. Your registration is not going to look distorted as a result of that. So a question a lot of printers have is why side clamps? If you've been a manual printer for a long time, you'll see the prevalence of back clamps in the industry. And back clamps, there's nothing inherently wrong with them whatsoever. As the screen gets longer and longer and ends up falling out here, that radial stability can start to suffer, and you want a little bit more stiffness in the printhead. The other thing that'll happen is that screen gets heavy towards the top of that screen. As it comes down, it's going to tilt naturally down a little more. Now you can, of course, use the tilt function in the printhead to bring that up level. We will create a nice even screen that is in plane to the platen. But when we pull a squeegee on that screen is going to dip. And because of how our squeegee travels over that screen, it's going to hold that screen closer to the platen, meaning that our off contact has diminished to basically nothing. Side clamps will actually help you to keep that screen rigid and off the platen so that you get functional off contact from the beginning of your squeegee pull to the end of your squeegee pull, which is far away and creates a lot more weight on the printhead. But as you are getting into greater and greater detail, greater and greater precision in your prints, it's a minor thing that ends up being a big thing in the end. So why is it beneficial to you, the screen printer, to have platens that are compatible with both your ROQ and your Riley 360? Just grab 4 or 6 platens from the set that you've already purchased and use them here on the Riley 360. It's not just your standard size platens that are interchangeable, it's every ROQ platen that you have, your sleeve platens, your youth platens, etc. I'm really excited for this press. I was fortunate enough to be involved in some of the brainstorming and the putting together the Riley Hopkins 360 press. I'm really excited for you guys to be able to get your hands on this, especially if you had a Riley 300 in the past. The upgrades that you're going to see on this, the performance increase, our team really knocked it out of the park.